car. So they might need to bring the car over. Need to bring the car over so I can pick it up. Is anybody riding with me or I gotta go by myself? She asked if I was going up Sunday. I told her yes. So I don't know. I'll touch base.
Well, let me go ahead and call her and let her know he needs to bring Carl over.
If it's okay. Okay, thank you.
Well,
I'm trying to move my screen, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fine. I can't get it. Okay, maybe I'll move from this side.
There we go.
I can move. What in the world?
Yes. If you want, you probably could just pull up the chair next to me. Yes.
Oh, are we the only two?
Well, Mr. Dillon and I share an office, so we're going to just use one computer.
That's okay.
And then Professor Phyllis Anderson should be joining us. And as far as clinical teacher Jason Weber, he didn't respond to the message, but he knows he's going to be my second clinical teacher. He just hadn't responded to any emails or text messages. Kevin Alvine is the supervisor of health and phys ed for the district, and he informed Jason Weber that he's going to be my clinical teacher, and he said, all right, looking forward to it.
Okay.
So it would be nice to get him on here. I'm not too sure if he's going to join today.
Okay. Well, what we'll do, once Ms. Anderson comes on, we'll get started.
Okay, great. Yes, and Brian Dillon, my clinical teacher now, was just assigned, I forget the term they use, but he has to go in-home and teach a student for 2 hours.
Homeschool?
Yeah, so he will be teaching that student actually today. So he has to, he can sit for the first 15 minutes of this meeting.
Well, maybe I hope it's not gonna be but 30 minutes. I think maybe we'll get through a lot of it by that time.
Yes, and fortunate enough we're recording this, so if anything he misses and I don't relay to him, we could just send him the copy.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine. Thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem.
Good. We hope we can get through this pretty quick. I thought 30 minutes would be, so maybe we'll get through most of it.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to leave about like 3:15, 3:20 because I have home instruction.
I think because the first part of this is, some of it has passed, so we can move through it quickly. I don't know where Miss Anderson, you have Miss Anderson's number?
I do, and I talked to her around noon, and she said she was coming on at 3.
Oh, okay. Okay. All righty then, let me,
We'll chat later.
and do you see the screen with the University of Mount Olive Clinical Teacher Orientation?
Yes, we see it. Can you see that good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe she can catch up. I'll go ahead so that your CT can leave.
Yes.
This is just the outline of what we're going to talk about, the clinical teacher registration, just to remind you that if you have not done, I'm sorry, give me the name again we have with us. The clinic CT is?
Brian Dillon, B-R-I-A-N.
Ella, yes, and I wrote that down. Okay. Okay, Mr. Dillon. So make sure that you do your clinical teacher registration. Lynn probably has sent that email out. If not, I'll make sure that she sends it to you so that you can. It's just
Can she resend it, please?
Sir?
Can she resend it?
Yes, if you don't have it.
I'll get it done as soon as possible.
Okay, so that you can get your pay at the end and also get renewal credit. If you need it, we'll send out a certificate, but we just need that information in the event we have to get up with you.
Not a problem.
The comprehensive teacher capacity schedule, Zoom class days. First week is gone, so I think Stephen has submitted his information. So we'll do this. So it shouldn't take too long to go through this. This is the site for clinical teachers to register. I can just copy that for you and shoot it to you, but that would be the site. Okay. And of course, the teaching capacity schedule should already be printed. Stephen should have printed those for you. I think Lynn sent those. So if you don't have that, we need to go back in and look through some of her emails. If you need that, this schedule lets you know how to implement the teaching classes. And I think
and we've been communicating about that.
Okay, good. All right. So that's all that is. There's some dates, and I know Stephen has emailed me regarding the last day to file for graduation. So I know he's using the calendar. So that's fine with that. And that's all that's there for. And of course, we have the dates for our Zoom conferences, and it just talks about that all students are required to take the licensure exam. So you're a health and physical ed major, then you should take it.
Hello?
We're here.
Hello?
We're here.
Hi.
Hi.
Phyllis Anderson. So I just got a message on my email from from Brian.
I'm on here.
Saying that
I'm pictured with Steven. Might be Jason.
Jason, right.
Was he talking super fast?
It was an email.
Yeah, he said he couldn't make the meeting because he's off at 3:30 instead of 3. He misread the information.
Well, we're hoping we'll be finished by 3:30. I'm hoping this will videotape. If I can get it to him to look at, that might be okay.
Okay, all right. So
I think I'm video. It should be. It's automatic recording. So anyway, we started because Brian has to leave early. Mr. Dillon has to leave a little bit early, so we thought we'd go ahead and get started.
no problem.
And I was just telling Stephen that he has to take the licensure test before he finishes his student teaching, pass or fail, but he must take that. We do have a career fair in the fall in December. I know you are away, but I would love for you to come, even though you're not going to teach in this area. You know, we kind of been over backwards to get you new purchases, so try to make this if you don't mind. So if y'all can work with him to give him some time off so that he can travel back to North Carolina for that, we would appreciate it, because we don't have a class to kind of pull things together.
When is that fair? Because
It's the first week of December, I think. I'm
okay,
not
so
sure.
he'll be with Jason by then.
Yeah, okay. So we'll talk about that. If you
Right.
can't come, if there's a reason you can't come, just talk to me. We'll work it out. It's not a problem. We're not going to fall out because you can't make it. But if you can, I'd like for you to. Make sure that you attend and get all your work in on your 493 class. Or you probably not in 493.
I'm not in 493.
Okay. All right, that's cool. But now we do have Zoom, and you Zoomed with us the other day. So if you get that and you want to Zoom, you can, because I think it's beneficial for you.
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Licensure day will be scheduled when it's time for you to submit your information. Lynn will send you that information to upload. She will send you the directions in order to be able to do that.
And you said Lynn will do that?
Lynn will do that when it's time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. First week observation guidelines has passed. So those have been submitted. And then we talk about the responsibilities for the clinical teacher, the supervising professor, and the student teacher intern. The student teacher, you already know what it is that you have to do. Clinical teacher, your responsibility is very much to just monitor the student teacher while he or she is teaching, assist with the development of the lesson plans and assessment plans as needed, and ensure the proper introduction of sequence of the load,
Learning.
class,
Yeah.
second class, and the third class. Meet with the student teaching intern weekly, and you're there every day. So maybe at the end of the week, ever how you feel is necessary to provide Stephen with feedback, it's okay with me. Complete student teaching internships rating forms monthly. We'll talk about that. The LEA IHE certification of capacity form, we will talk about that. And of course, review and evaluate the lesson and assessment plans and sign the agreements that should be on the webpage. The supervising professor has the very same responsibilities, okay? You both will complete the midterm and of course final together. The midterm can be completed by all parties, including Stephen, because he may have some, if you feel he hasn't done something in an area, he can share with you, yeah, this is what I did in that area. So, and then the 3 or 4 of you can talk about it. This is the schedule for the fall. You should have an observation in September, one in October, and October you should also complete the midterm. Now Stephen got started late, so we won't do one in September for him, I don't think. So you can do 2 in October plus your midterm. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yes.
And then 1 in November, and then you do your final evaluation, and we'll look at those forms. This is the teacher rating summary form. This is what it looks like. I did not put the entire form here, but you will see in the documents that you find on our webpage, it says the teacher summary rating form. This is what it looks like. Okay, that's the one that you should use on a monthly basis for him. Okay, and it can be found at this website. Now, what I could do for these web pages, I could
It's 5 pages, right?
Yes, it should be about that. What I'll do with this.
Okay, is that?
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because this is the purpose.
No, I just wanted to know if this teacher summary rating form, is that the form I use as well?
That you use?
Yeah, do I need to use this form for his observations or
you can, or
something else?
You can use the LEA IHE certification of capacity form. You may use either one.
Okay, I have that too. I have that too.
Whichever one.
And that's 3 pages long.
Yes. Now,
okay, got it.
When I was going out, I used the LEA IHE certification because those, of course, were the standards that they needed to master. And you must have all on that. But now, the clinical teacher can use the form that they are familiar with because that's the one, well, North Carolina, this is the one we use in the classroom. So it doesn't matter to me if everybody wants to use the same rating form, it's okay with me. But just make sure that the teachers use the summary rating form and professor, you can use either one. But you do have to do
Right.
Okay. Questions about
Right.
Okay. Now we have the North Carolina Educator Evaluation System. This is the midterm, okay? This is the midterm evaluation that should be conducted with all of you if at all possible. I know there are 4 of you, so one may have to be chime in via conference. And I just provided a couple of pages of what that looks like here. Hard to read, teachers lead in their classrooms is the first one. And then of course, teachers demonstrate leadership. These are the North Carolina teaching standards, okay? So that's all that is for that. The student can either be emergent, developing, proficient, accomplished. We don't expect being accomplished, but if there are, then that's fine. What we don't want to see is emergent. So we have a student who is emergent in one place or several, that student must have a professional development plan. So you must develop a plan in order for the student to address those issues where he or she is emergent. As long as it's developing, because that's what we expect, they're new, they're just out in the field. So we expect them to be developing, in many cases proficient, and you might have an accomplishment. And of course, I have a place where you can, at the top of this, you can locate that. And as I said, when I finish this presentation, I will put this in an email to all of you, and then you have the hyperlinks. If you need them,
Okay.
does everybody have the forms, or do I need to send them?
I need the form for the midterm.
Okay.
I don't have that. I don't know. I was looking at everything I downloaded, but I don't seem to have that.
Okay, I can either send you this document or copy all the links.
I think if we send the document, it's all located in one area. It's easier to print off.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Now, in my document, I do not have the entire. I don't have the entire forms, just screenshots of parts of it so that you can see what it looks like. But the hyperlinks would be easy to just click and print. That's what you meant.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
This is the LEA IHE certification of capacity. This is the final evaluation, and I put April because this was for my other group, but it should be April and December. So anyway, this is.
I have a question. Since
Yes.
Stephen's doing 2 different placements, one in the high school, one in the elementary,
Yes.
do I still have to do a final evaluation as well?
I think everybody should come together for the final.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll do maybe 2, and somebody else will do the 1. Evaluate regulars.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you need to come together to do the 1. It wouldn't hurt for you to do yours and him to do 1. I don't have a problem with that.
Mine
Right.
would also be like the midterm evaluation, my final evaluation. Yes. Since Stephen will be leaving towards the end of October.
Okay. So long as we get 1.
Okay.
Any questions about the LEA IHE certification of capacity?
That, just to verify, in order for me to get certified, every single box needs to be met.
Every single box need to be met. And that's why
Okay.
Ms. Anderson wants to use this. And if she starts to see something that says not met, she needs to make sure that it has been called to your attention and she can work on that so that when this form is ready to be filled, everything is met.
Okay.
So that's another.
Right. So
reason, Anderson.
right, because this is the form I could use to evaluate him every time I go.
If you like, yes, ma'am. You can use this one
Yes.
or the other one. Mhm.
No, I'll use this one.
Okay. And in that way,
So
if
this
you-
is so this is for this same form is used for the final, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
And
Okay.
with the advantage for you with this form is that if you see anything that's not met, you can address it right then. So you'll have 2
Exactly.
opportunities to get. So I like this form.
Right.
And I was out this range. Oh, we all know about PPAT. At least Stephen does. I don't know about the rest of you.
No, that's not a required test for the state.
Oh, your state, okay. So, but we do have it for North Carolina. The PPAT is the Praxis Performance Assessment for Teachers. I don't know, North Carolina just wants to test all our people all the time, but we're praying that that'll change eventually. So anyway, PPAT has 4 tasks. Stephen has already submitted his first task, the knowledge of students and the learning environment. He and I talked about that a little bit. I thought he did a wonderful job. So I think he'll do pretty good with the rest of them as well. Task 2 and task 3. Task 2 should be submitted to Ms. Anderson for upload by
The 10th.
By the 10th, okay? So make sure you get it all done so she'll have a chance to look at it. And it would be nice if you could work on it and send it to her to look at it prior to that. Because the ETS has,
Okay.
I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who's uploading that form? That, you are, okay, all right. Because I did look at the first one that you sent me. I did look at that. It was done well.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Dillon has to step out right now.
So I'll get more of the information from Stephen tomorrow, and he'll just keep me up to loop what happened.
Okay, and
I
what's
can follow up with him. Nice to meet everyone.
okay, nice to meet you as
Yes,
well.
same here.
Thank you.
I will have a clinical teacher video, clinical teacher Zoom probably. I've got a conference next week, but I will have one probably the next week, and I'll send that information out for anybody who has questions or wants to come on.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Okay, so we have task 2 and task 3 and task 4 that are due, and of course, these are the September dates. We already have those. When we did this, we did not have the dates ready, but we do have dates now. And as we just discussed, the task 2 and task 3 are due to the supervising professor by October 10th, but must be uploaded to ETS by the 17th.
Yes.
And then task 4 is November 7th to the supervisor and November 14th, and that's the last task.
Correct.
Okay, and it says that the tasks are due by 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the date indicated.
Yes.
So, and if there's a clinical teacher handbook, if you want to read it for your clinical teacher, remind them that this is where it is, can be located there. Okay.
Right.
Anderson, what I like to, because you're responsible for making sure that 2 and 3 are done, because they do have to have a passing score. If you go to, I know you went to ETS, have you delved into that process yet, or those guiding prompts?
Hold on a second, let me see. Maybe not really, let me see. I think I have that. Was there anything that I could have printed off?
Yeah, there's a lot there. What I'd like for you to do is get together at some point in time and go through those guiding prompts together. And then he can say, well, this is what I think this is. And you say, no, that's not quite that. So I need you to go through. He's very smart. So I'm thinking your job is going to be easy. I just think he needs some extra maybe guidance because he hasn't done this before. So I think he probably need that. Also, we have a video. We had the lady from ETS to come down, and she talked about task 2 and 3 and 4, I think. So I'm going to try to get that video to you.
Oh, yes,
as well.
please.
And then that will help because she had some great information. But I think the biggest thing will be right now is to go through the tasks together, see what's needed, look at the library of examples, and I think Stephen has already used those for health and physical education, and read over those and to see what you need for each one of those. And if it were me, I would design my responses similar to the one that was met or above standards. I can't remember what the 2 terms are that they use, but those are the ones I would look at. I did an activity with a group of students, and they said, well, I want to look at the one that not met. Don't look at the not met. Why?
Right.
It didn't mean you're wasting time. Let's just look at what met and try to build upon that. Okay. Schedule we've done. Clinical teacher handbook is there. And this is the lesson plan. Are there any questions about that?
No, this school requires a different lesson plan, but the one that we provide is more thorough. I should be using the one that we provide, correct?
Yes, and let me tell you why. For the very reason that you just stated. I can put you in a school system. You can be hired in a school system that doesn't require any of this. You can also be placed in a school system that requires this plus more. So my thing is, if you know how to do a detailed lesson plan, it's easy to cut out what you don't need. It is so easy. So my philosophy is to teach you how to utilize a full-scale lesson plan, and then at the very end, if you don't need it when you get a job, then hey, you're still set to go. But you have all of the necessities in order to do a full-scale lesson plan.
Okay, great.
And at the very end is important. The reflection of the lesson is important because it will help you with your PPAT. As a matter of fact, this reflection comes directly from PPAT.
Okay, great.
Assessment plan,
Okay.
I am requesting an assessment plan for each lesson plan. So whatever you do to assess your students, if, for example, you were teaching, I don't know, students how to dribble, that's because I'm not a PE major.
Yes.
Teaching them how to dribble. If you have the students, something informal would be dribble from this line to this line, and you say, okay, everybody comes up. You would solidify in your mind if Ruby didn't dribble so well. So then if you did, when you do your assessment plan, you would say, dribble the ball 5, 10, 15 feet. So that would be what students will, what's a skill for dribble? I don't know. What would be the?
Well, fingertips have to be, the wrist has to be moving, the fingertips have to be in contact with the ball, not the palm of the hand.
Okay.
So something, but it would be something measurable as well, so you can assess it. So the student will dribble 15 times without losing control of the ball.
Okay, cool. All right. So the student, when you look at this, it says the learning target from the student's point of view. I can dribble the ball, 15 times without losing control of the ball. And then the student will say, well, I will, just simple, I will be able to dribble without losing the ball. I will be able to dribble and maintain control. That's what the student says. So how are you going to collect that evidence? What activity? Very simple. They're going to dribble from one line to one line. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay. And then how are you going to document the evidence? Are you just going to observe? Or are you going to have a clipboard with a chart that you mark out everybody's name?
Yeah, a clipboard with a chart would be easier.
So then you say documenting evidence. I will have an evaluation form with every student's name on it to determine if they met the intent of the target.
And I can make that appropriate for my age group, correct? I don't have to, because I know my degree is K through 12, but I'm currently in high school, so we're actually encouraged to use peer evaluation during some of these, or like
Yeah.
So for us, that's a lot easier for us to record data through the partner system.
See, I told you Stephen was smart. So here you could put peer evaluation. You could put teacher observation and notes on peer evaluation. Whatever it is, then that's what you do. And then, of course, reflect on it, provide some assessments. 80% of the students were able to dribble without losing control of the ball or whatever. And here, the objective, that is, what type of, what standard course of study do you use? Do y'all use in New Jersey?
I'm sorry?
The course of study, where do you get your learning objectives? What is it called?
Shape.
Shape, okay.
Are they using Shape?
I don't, Mr. Dillon had just left, so I'm a little unsure, but I know that the test that the New Jersey requires is the EDTPA, which is similar to our PPAT.
Oh, you're doing EdTPA. Ah, yeah, East Carolina uses that.
Yeah, they are. They are using EdTPA.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So your objective, let me see, would come whatever that's where your standards are. That's where you're going to get your goals and objectives from your teaching standards. Whatever the state says has to be taught in that school is what you would is where you would draw your objective. And we'll look that up before we go. See if we can find it.
But I should make that objective appropriate to North Carolina.
You're teaching in New Jersey. Make it appropriate to
New Jersey.
Okay, great.
where you're teaching. Yeah.
Mm.
And you have to make it appropriate for them.
Right. Can we just go back 1 second for
Yes, ma'am.
what was the document or the information you wanted me to go over with him?
PPS.
Yes.
The PPST?
PPAT.
18. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I have that written down.
And the
right here.
the subject of the email I sent you was PPAT task 1. That's exactly how you would web search it, and it would come up right away.
Okay. So you sent that to Miss Anderson.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, but you sent me the handbook for it, so I have it.
Oh, great.
So that's what I should be referencing with Stephen?
What it would be task 2 requirements, and so for each task there's several
2 and 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
okay, I see it.
yeah. So it basically, just to review, in this text box we are looking for this type of response, just so we're on the same page and that I get it correct.
Okay, I see them all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I just pulled it up. Because I just want to make sure I'm tuned in to what you're saying, and I have it at my fingertips, so I know. I don't want to be trying to figure it out later.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. So thank you.
And if you're familiar with that TPA, it's similar. We just have a few less steps. So they're both assessments, but we have a few less steps. We knew students wouldn't have enough to do, so we're sorry. That's why we chose that. I looked up New Jersey student learning standards, and I'm thinking those are the goals and objectives that you need to use. And I don't know if it's east or west, so I'm not sure. That didn't show up. And I have a physical education comprehensive help, and it's the state of New Jersey. So is east and west in there as well? I don't know, because I don't know that area. But anyway, look those up. The Department of Education, the state of New Jersey, Department of Education, and it is the standards. And let's see, the health and physical ed standards.
You know what? I have a printout of the school standards. It's at home.
Okay, well, your standards is just what you're teaching.
Right.
Okay. All right. Then we have, you got it?
This is from the school, but I wanted to see if they cited the state legislation here.
Okay.
They did not.
They did not. So let me hear one or two of those.
So this would be the syllabus. So it says the goal of West Orange School physical education curriculum is to provide students with the knowledge and skills to value and apply physical activity and its benefits for a lifetime. And it just goes into depth about the goal and how they'll be graded. This doesn't actually show any standards. This is more of like a syllabus agreement.
Okay. So let me see. We need to find out what the standards are, because those are the ones.
New Jersey has comprehensive standards.
Yes, ma'am.
But they're broken up. So when you put in like New Jersey standards for physical education, they're going to give you an umbrella. They have physical education directed standards under that umbrella, and they also have health standards for all grades.
Okay, so he needs to study those, because are you just teaching, it depends on what you're teaching. Health and physical, you're teaching health and
Right.
education, so you would derive your standards from that. And just in your lesson plan, I need you to say if it's West Orange,
West Orange High School?
West Orange High School education standards. I don't know. I need to see what it is.
Like you can cite what standard you're gauging from, but your clinical teacher, he should have what standards they're following.
Yes.
Somewhere in his, so you can get that from him, and then I guess you can scan and send it to Miss Bell, and she'll have it, and she'll know exactly what you're working off of.
All right.
Don't send it all. Just send the first page or two. You don't need to.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I'm sure they have it, and they're working off a particular set of standards. So that's set up by the state.
Okay, so I actually have found very similar to North Carolina standards.
Okay.
There's no particular name to it. Like I don't see like an acronym or anything, but it's just the Comprehensive Health and Physical Education Standards.
For New Jersey or East Orange or?
For New Jersey.
For New Jersey,
So what I'll do is, because there we go. If you look in our chat box, I just copied and pasted it into our chat text box.
Okay.
Even though that's dated 2014, I don't know if it has changed since.
They don't change that often.
No, they don't.
I see. Okay. Let's see if I can bring that up while we're.
And it breaks it down all the way from kindergarten all the way to grade 12 and in the different categories, such as they do in the North Carolina standard.
Okay. So let me go down. Okay. So I see content area, comprehensive health standard is 2.1 wellness. So what I would expect from you in that area would be when you do your objective, I would look to see standard 2.1 wellness. Okay,
right.
And then if you go down into it, you will say, it also indicate 2.1 PA1, develop an awareness of health effects. That's what I need to see. So
yes.
I need to put the standard, and then of course you need to put that would be the indicator, because that's what you're teaching that particular time.
Yes.
For the grade level. Okay, so we're good with that. Okay. She's on the phone anyway, and you can see it, so I'm not going to try to do that. But I think that'll be fine. I just wanted to make sure that you had that. Thank you for sending that. I appreciate it. Now, the last thing is your innovation plan. We talked a little bit about that.
Yes.
Innovation plan is a collaborative project, which shows how you collaborate at this level, because that's what the state requires. So this plan has to be something that will benefit the school. When I talked with Stephen, I talked about the fact that maybe he could do, and I'm just suggesting as an example. Remember a long time ago we had the Presidential Academic Fitness Award?
Yes.
Yes. And we did a pre and a post test, physical ed evaluation, physical fitness test.
Yes.
So about the possibility of doing that, and working with the students to build up those skills, and then doing it at the end to see if they had advanced, and all the information in between would be his data or his documentation, where it had Ruby did 10 sit-ups, but in October, but at the end of November she was able to do 15. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And my question is, I understand how to do data and report it like that. Okay. My question is, you emphasized that it had to be collaborative. Can you explain to me how that becomes collaborative?
Well, yours will be collaborative. What grade do you have?
I teach 10th and 12th grade.
So if you pull, how many teachers do you have in 10th and 12th grade? How many teachers?
I'm sorry, how many what?
How many groups of 10th and 12th graders do you see?
6 total, so 3 and 3. Okay,
so all those have different teachers?
No, I shadow Mr. Dillon the whole day.
Okay, but they come from you shadow him, but those aren't students that stay with him all day. They come from other classes, correct?
Oh, correct. They're all different.
Okay, that's part of your group. If he has 6 classes, or 6 teachers, that's 6 teachers. So those 6 Then you have your principal and assistant principal and your CT and those teachers. That's collaboration.
Okay, yes.
Okay, pull everybody together, whatever you decide to do, pull everybody together and talk through what you're planning to do and get buy-in from them. They may have some other things that they'd like you to do. That's what you need.
Right.
Yes.
In order to determine what you do, you probably need to look at the school improvement plan. You might need to speak with the principal. Listen, I've got to do a project. It has to be collaborative to show that I can lead. Is there something that you need for me to do that relates to health and physical education that would benefit your school?
Okay.
Well, no. I don't know. Whatever you think is needed, but you do have to have, let's look at the innovation plan. Whatever you decide, you have to write a statement for it to tell us why you decided to use that. And what improvement tool did you use? How did you determine what you were going, what resource did you use to determine that this is what I'm going to do? This is the project that I am going to do, okay? Now, does New Jersey have a teacher working condition survey that you know of?
I'm unaware of that, but through my previous classes at Mount Olive, I'm familiar with the North Carolina one.
Okay. Now you might could, if you felt, you might could take that North Carolina survey, look at it, and it may be something there with your group of people that your group of teachers. You might want to administer that, a piece of that. We don't want to get you in trouble with the school and come back and you have a lot of negative information. You say, oh, he's stirring up trouble. But I'm just saying, if that's a survey you can use as a part of that to get to a project, then that would be good. But,
and can I keep that within the department, like ask just the phys ed teachers?
If you don't have to even do that now, I'll just use that as a suggestion.
Yes.
Oh, question. So if you have, how many phys ed teachers do you have?
14.
14? How big is that school?
3,000.
Very big.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
The schools here are big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that
blow me away. Well, that's your collaboration right there with them and your other teachers. That's what I would do.
Yes.
You were pretty smart. I keep saying that because I really think that whatever you decide to do, just get a project.
Okay, thank you.
Get to school.
Yeah, you can do a project on food. You can have them, what types of foods are they eating, and do a calorie count, because you're dealing with high school kids right now.
That's right.
And they tend to eat out a lot, eat in between their meals, and you can maybe get them a little more health conscious as they go into adulthood.
That's really
yes.
And that might be a fun thing to do. Or you can do something on body image, because if you have a class of seniors, they're all going to be trying to look their best going into that prom.
Yes.
And that prom season is coming up at the end of the year. You can get them started on a project of self-improvement for themselves.
Right. And make whatever you do, the data is easier. If you do something pre, you can do something post-assessment, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And then, of course, you have to make sure that you include whatever your objective is related to the school mission. What's the goal? To increase body image of said number of students or whatever. I know, I'm not a PE person. Identification of the resources to achieve the goals. What kind of resources did you need in order to achieve the goals that you have set? Once you decide what the goal is, who did you collaborate with? What's the timeline? What did you do in October, every week in October, and every week in November to the very end? And then, of course, you can bullet those. Met with the group to come up with an idea or to share my idea, And then, of course, evaluate your data and analyze it. And that's it.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing right now is the PPAT piece for y'all to sit down together and go over that.
Yes.
Know what all your evaluation pieces are that you need. And I think I'll say just have at it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a problem.
All right, and I will send this email to the two of you, and then you can disseminate it to the clinicals, to Brian.
Brian and Jason.
Jason.
Right.
Is that good with y'all?
So now,
Yes.
that's good. That's good.
Any questions?
No.
No.
So I'm doing 3 observations total, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, 3 classroom observations, a midterm, and a final. I would do.
So that's 5.
How far are you from?
So that's 5. I didn't do a map quest yet, but let me see. Hold on. I think I wrote it up. How far?
You can just guess.
It's maybe about 40 minutes, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, see, if that were me, 40 minutes away, that's up to you. When I did my my second observation in October, I would just go ahead and do my midterm.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Right. And when
I get you.
When you do your final in the end of November, or whenever you do your final, I prefer it's at the end of November. I would do when you do your third observation, I would go ahead and do my final.
Right.
You're not going to have any
So now when I do my final, those observations, how do I get them to you? Am I supposed to get them to you right after?
Oh, ma'am. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked that question. All that information can come. You can scan it in to us at the end. At the end, we're going to need.
At the end?
At the end of the student teaching internship.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we're going to need all of his observations. Now, you can put them in the mail if you like. We'll need all of his observations.
Scanning and sending them is easy. I can do that.
We will need all his observations. We will need 4 lesson plans, and we'll get that out to you. We will need copies of 4 assessment plans. Research paper, Stephen. We'll need a copy of the research paper that he should have already done in another class.
Correct.
Just make sure that it is corrected and looks good and is an A paper. And then his innovation plan.
Okay.
And of course, that final evaluation is what we really, really need.
Now,
okay. So,
and then,
go ahead.
Then on my end, so that is what I need, plus 4 lesson plans and 4 assessment plans for those lessons.
4, yes, sir. And those come to us. Now, you may have 8, but you can pick any of the 4 you want to send to us.
Yes.
Or you may have 10.
Okay, so Stephen's going to send you the lesson plans and assessments.
No, they have to go through you to come to me. Your final collection. This is what you, and
okay, so he's going to give them to me, and then I will make sure I send all of that with the observations to you.
Now, mind you, you should be looking at his assessments and lesson plans along with the clinical teachers. You should get.
As we go along, of course. When I go in, I'll have to see his lesson plan and the assessment at the same time, because if you're doing a lesson, you may not get to the assessment that day, but I want to see it because you may do it later on in the week. But I would need to see that and have a copy, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Good.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now the research paper, who's sending that in?
That would be me.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. And the innovation plan.
Listen. All those, these are the final documents that should be collected by the supervising professor and submitted.
Oh, okay.
Office. It will be the 4 lesson plans, 4 assessment plans, all the evaluations. Make sure that you include your midterm and final, and in your research paper, and then your innovation plan. All that comes to us.
Yes, that's what I want as required.
All that comes to, and Stephen will submit it to you, and then you'll send it to us.
I'll send it to you. Okay, no problem.
Yes, and Ms. Anderson, I have that already written out as a checklist. So when I start accomplishing those, I'll either accumulate them all and then send them to you, or send them to you as we go along.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I know that when I come in, I'd like to at least, get a lesson plan and assessment when I come in for my first visit, which we need to set the dates. We need to set those dates up.
Yes, and
Like ASAP.
this is a large campus too, so I'll already let you know kind of where I'll be located and where to check in.
Wow.
Right.
Ms. Anderson, if you want to do your mileage monthly, that'll be good. I think that would be better. This you're just starting, so at the end of October and the end of November, or whenever you finish up in December, I think will be good, so that we can get you that back.
Okay.
The reimbursement.
Yeah, I believe, I don't know your schedule, but I believe November might be best for like the final, because if I'm going to be going potentially down to North Carolina, I might not be.
That would be fine with me. That would be fine. But if you have dates right now, I can put them in my book and we can plan right now while you're on the line.
Yes, I don't have Mr. Dillon here to confirm.
Okay, so how about this? At least by the end of the week, you tell me.
Yes.
And I would prefer like a Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Okay.
Or Thursday, yes. And do you know your teaching schedule? Do you know what days you're in the gym?
So
what time do you start? What time do you start?
At 7:20 a.m.
Wow. That's so early. And what's the next class after that?
Well, we teach all day, so I'll be going.
Okay.
I'll be going all day. And
okay, well, a 7:20 wouldn't be bad for me. I can do a 7:20.
Yes,
I'm an early person.
We'll teach all the way till our day ends at 2:20. So.
Wow.
Oh, okay, that's great. All right, so if you can shoot me an email or text with 2 dates in October and 2 dates in November.
And those
so that
Monday,
I can
Wednesday,
plug them.
Thursdays still apply for both months?
Yes. And I would prefer, if I can come early, I would do that because that works well for me.
Okay, absolutely.
You know, but if there's a problem with early, then I would say more like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock.
Perfect.
Maybe I'll catch an afternoon.
Yeah, 12 o'clock I teach my adaptive PE. So, and that's that's pretty much every day.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see that class too. So
yes.
give me 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
You've got
We'll do it that way.
All right.
Okay?
And I've got that noted down. I haven't picked an exact date for either one of those yet, but I'll follow up with a text message with you.
And I'm thinking November is going to be in the elementary school, right?
That is correct. So we'll have to.
Okay, so we'll wait on those 2 dates, but definitely the 2 October dates will be great.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So is there anything else, Ms. Bell?
No, I think I'm good. I hope
all right,
great.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Everyone have a good night.
Same to you.
Okay, Stephen. We'll be in touch.
Yes.
Okay then. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.